Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder Wrestling. Today we got another retro review. We are continuing the journey with SummerSlams. And here we have SummerSlam 1996, August 18th, 1996, from Cleveland, Ohio, in the Gund Arena. 17,000 in attendance, a buy rate 157,000, which is down a lot from the previous years. Commentary team is Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Mr. Perfect. I don't have any notes for it, but I did want to mention that the opening, the match for the free fall, the pre-show, was a 1-minute match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Yokozuna. Would love to know what happened in 1 minute and 52 seconds that allowed Stone Cold to win, because that's who won. I just would love to know what that match was. Our first actual match on the show, though, is Owen Hart taking on Savio Vega. Owen Hart currently has a cast on one of his arms. I don't think they don't fully explain why. But he has an injury, although they allege that it's not a real injury, not that serious that he needs to wear a cast. It's just used as a weapon. Savio is targeting Owen's arm right off the bat and is in control early. Savio goes for a roll-up, but Owen kicks out, and when he does, Savio goes shoulder first into the ring post, which allows Owen Hart to take control and wear down Savio. Savio goes for a spinning heel kick, but Owen dies out of the way and is able to hit Enziguri, but Vega kicks out. Owen rolls up Vega with his feet on the ropes, but Vega kicks out of that. Spinning heel kick by Owen, but Vega kicks out of that. Savio gets back into it with a spin kick and makes a comeback. We get a side slam, but Owen Hart kicks out. We get a neck breaker, but Owen neck breaker by Owen. We get a missile drop kick by Owen, but Vega kicks out of that. And the ref gets distracted by Clarence Mason, who just makes his way to ringside. Not for any real reason, just makes his way out. The ref is distracted by him. Owen hits Vega with the cast after he takes off his arm, and then locks in the sharpshooter, and Vega is out, and Owen Hart wins. I give the match 6 out of 10. A very fun match. These guys are really good at what they do. And they make each other look really good. After the match, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, aka JBL Bradshaw, comes out with Uncle Zebekiah, aka Zeb Coulter, and just starts beating up Savio more. So I think that was a feud, I guess, currently going on. I don't know what it leads to. They must have had a match on, like, In Your House, I think. The next In Your House, I would assume. Gee, I'll check that now. I think that's the one in Philly, isn't it? Yes, it is. Wait, what? Okay. I'm very confused by this card. Anyways. Our next matchup on the card. But yeah, they do have a match. Apparently on the next In Your House, Savio Vega has like 2 matches on the dang show. Odd booked show. Very odd show just by looking at the card. For the next In Your House, my case. But we don't need to worry about that. Next matchup is for the WWF Tag Team Championship. It is a 4-way elimination match as the Smoking Guns, accompanied by Sonny, defending against the New Rockers, which is Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, Al Snow. The Godwins with Hillbilly Jim. And the Bydowners, which is Skip and Zip. Skip is Chris Candido. I actually do not remember who Zip is. Does Zip have... Who is Zip? Tom Pritchard. I'm gonna be honest. Not a big fan of this match. Henry gets momentum on Billy Gunn. Then both Smoke Guns are tagged in, but they just, they're like, they have to make contact, they have to fight. No, they don't, because they just stand there, and then they just tag out back to one of the people who tagged them in, and that's it. Janae trips Zip and Billy pins to eliminate the Bydowners, so they're out. The New Rockers, who are heels, apparently, wear down Henry Godwin. Henry hits a side slam to Billy, but it's broken up. We get a slop drop from Henry to Jannetty to eliminate the New Rockers, so it's down to the Godwins and the Guns. We get a hot tag to Phineas Godwin. We get a slop drop by Phineas to Billy. Bart, who is the illegal man, hits an accent off the top to Phineas. puts Billy on top, and the ref counts 3, and Billy pins, and the Smoking Guns retain the titles. I give it 4 out of 10. There's just not much to this match for me. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of how it was done. I think it could have been better. But, at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world. Trust me, there will be something else that gets on my nerves later on in this show where I will go on a bit of a rant. But yeah, this is that. And then Sunny at the end of it reveals a picture of herself, like, huge picture of herself she has. And cool. Our next matchup is Psycho Sid versus the British Bulldog. Sid takes down Bulldog with a clothesline. Scoop body slam by Sid, but Bulldog kicks out. We have stalling suplex by Bulldog, which is very impressive. Bulldog clothesline Sid to the outside. He hit Sid's able to get back in, hits a corner splash, goes for a second one, but Bulldog moves. Bulldog gets the running power slam, and Clarence Mason has made his way outside, right to ringside again. Cornette, who was watching in Vader's locker room, runs out and confronts Mason like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be out here. Why are you out here?" So they are arguing. Bulldog is distracted. He turns around into a choke slam by Sid, and then Sid hits the powerbomb to win. Out of the match, I give it 5 out of 10. Perfectly fine matchup. Sid, they gotta get Sid over because he ends up taking the spot of someone, which I'll get into later on in the year. So, yeah, he's gonna end up being heavily featured. So, you need to keep the momentum going. I think, I don't think this leads anywhere, though, the Mason and Cornette thing, because I'm pretty sure Owen and them stay with Cornette. I don't remember them being with Clarence Mason. So I don't know what the build was, what the point of this was. If there was a reveal or end result to this that I don't remember, let me know in the comments. I generally don't remember. The next match is Goldust, accompanied by Marlena, taking on the Wow Man, Mark Merrill with Sable. Goldust slaps Merrill at the start of the match and rakes the eyes. Merrill gets control early, but Goldust is able to backdrop him to the outside. Goldust knocks Merrill off the apron onto the barricade, which did look brutal. Like, that was a brutal spot. Mankind randomly appears. I guess it's a bit of thing going on. Mankind just randomly appears to scare Sable. He calls Sable mommy. I have no idea what the point of this is. Again, I genuinely don't think this goes anywhere. Don't know why this is a thing. Merrill makes a comeback and dives on the Ghost on the outside. We get a springboard leg drop by Merrill. Merrill hits the Wild Thing, the shooting star press, but Goldust kicks out of it. Way to debut a finish, kid. They make it like it's this big finishing move he's been working on, and they kick out of it right away. So great building to that. Goldust hits the curtain call out of nowhere to win. Again, I give 5 out of 10. Perfectly fine match. Nothing groundbreaking on it. Nothing, you ain't never seen before. But yeah, it was a very fun match. I have no idea why you had Merrill finish you immediately kicked out of. There's another Unibog Merrill, I guess. Alright, so this next one is not going to be the last. I'm not going to do. It is Jerry Lawler versus Jake Roberts. Now, Jake Roberts had just come back, and he came back, and he was sober, and he was everything. And WWE decided, you know what? Let's fuck this guy's whole life right back up. Because they have him have this feud with Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler, his whole thing is just talking Jake about his issues and his demons and, making jokes about him drinking and all that. And he comes out here tonight and he's wearing the jersey of a rival thing to get heat, but he's also carrying bottles of whiskey, actual whiskey. I have no. So Jerry wins after hitting Jake with a bottle of whiskey. It goes like 4 minutes. Mark Henry is also on commentary for some reason. I don't remember if him and Lawler have an issue, but he's also there. But then what pisses me off is they have a lot of poor whiskey on the face and down the throat of Jake, which causes him to rehab. You purposely fuck this man's whole life up for the sake of a storyline. You can make whatever claim you want about this. This is the most fucked up thing I have seen in some time. I give this 0 out of 10. I am not giving this even the slightest bit of a rate. Fuck them for doing this. Fuck them for fucking with Roberts the way they did. Roberts then, his life is fucked up till when? Like, he encounters DDP in, like, 2012, 13, something like that? Like, maybe even later than that? Like, it gets fucked up, man. Like, that's what they did to him. Oh, man. This is one of those other things that Vince McMahon's going to fucking hell for. Yeah, so he keeps pouring things until Mark Henry makes a save. I think them two have a match. And like, Lawler's Henry's first opponent. But, like, oh, I hate that they did Jake like this. I fucking hate it. Our next match is The Undertaker versus Mankind in a Boiler Room Brawl. These two have been feuding since the Raw after WrestleMania. When Mankind debuted, very first match, he makes very first appearance, wins his first match, then the main event of the show, he attacks The Undertaker, and they've been feuding ever since, leading to this moment here, where pretty much this is the end of this part of the feud. I don't think, because I don't remember when Taker comes back, but I don't think he goes right back after Mankind. I think he just goes after someone else, which we'll get to. I think. I might be wrong. I think that's what happens. So the way it works is Paul Bearer makes the way to the ring, and they got these little small monitors, these small TVs, like the smallest thing they find, and they bring them out so the fans could see what's going on. Ain't fucking no one able to see what's on this screen. Like, maybe the front row and, like, the other, like, the few rows around, but, like, barely anyone else can see what's on these fucking screens. So the way it works is the winner must go out and must get the urn from Paul Bearer in order to win. Taker enters the boiler room, Mankind attacks from behind. This is one of those ones where until the end result or spots I found interesting, I just kind of watched it and enjoyed it. It's just an all-out brawl inside the boiler room. We lose the camera feed multiple times. The part that's weird is there's no commentary until they make their way to, unless there's a technical issue or they make their way to the ringside. There's just no commentary. Like, once they leave the boiler room, it's like the boiler room, they're just not allowed to speak. Very weird. I don't know why they did that. It felt very weird to me. Mankind takes a crazy bump off a ladder onto, like, a box and shit. It does not look like it's a nice landing. Mankind, though, is the first to leave the boiler room. But then the part that confuses me is he leaves the boiler room. And then he just puts a bunch of stuff in front of the boiler, which is one thing. But then he holds himself against the boiler room door, meaning he's stopping himself from going to ringside to get the thing. So I just found that really stupid. Taker then leaves and kicks down the door Mankind's against, and they both find backstage. Fight like past people like Goldust and Steve Austin and shit. That's why Steven just get involved for the sake of getting involved. You're the breakdown. Go get involved there, son. Mankind throws hot coffee. That is hot coffee, as Vince McMahon says. He throws hot coffee at Undertaker. They fire up the ramp. Mankind power drives Undertaker on the floor, and that's not enough to keep him down. Mankind takes a gnarly bump off the apron onto concrete floor in hell. Oh my god, I fucking cringed watching that so badly. Oh my god. Undertaker that gets in the ring and asks for the urn, and Paul Bearer just straight refuses to give it to him. Mankind gets back in the ring, locks in the mandible claw, and Paul Bearer starts laughing. It is revealed that Paul Bearer has turned his back on the Undertaker. He starts stomping him and slapping him. He turns his back on the Undertaker. Paul Bearer hits the Undertaker with the urn and gives it to Mankind. to win. I give it 7 out of 10. It is very fun to watch. It is chaotic, but it's different. And could have been better, sure, but it's so different. I just enjoyed it. You get the twist at the end of Paul Bearer turning on Undertaker, joining up with Mankind. No clue what happens. You have no clue what's gonna happen next with the Undertaker. It's just brilliantly done. This is my favorite thing on the show, which is kind of crazy to say, but it is. We then get a main event as Vader, accompanied by Jim Cornette, takes on the WWF champion Shawn Michaels with Jose Lothario, who's pretty much there against his will because Shawn doesn't even want him there for the WWF championship. Vader debuted at the Royal Rumble and has pretty much just been on a collision course heading towards this direction. You knew they were positioning Vader very well until this night, and this night onwards, Vader goes downhill. All Shawn's fault. So, Vader's quick with the shots. Shawn is on the attack when Vader is grounded. Shawn sends Vader to the outside and dives onto him. Vader powerbombs Shawn on the outside. We get a big suplex and Vader wearing him down. He locks in some sort of mission. I would call it barrel, but it's not. You know, like the triangle weird submission Braun Strowman used to do in like 2015? That's what it is. Pretty much. Vader goes for a sit, but Shawn gets the knees up. And then Shawn has a temper tantrum. So Shawn gets up top, and he's supposed to hit a diving elbow. Vader's supposed to move, but Vader doesn't move. So Shawn just lands on his feet, starts talking shit, and just starts stomping Vader in the face. It's very unprofessional looking and makes them look ridiculous. Why he did that, I have no idea. They go to the outside. Vader drops Shawn on the guardrail, and he gets counted out. Cornette demands a restart as Vader came for the belt. Shawn, he doesn't want to win that way. Vader doesn't want to end that way. But let's do it. And Shawn agrees to restart it. Vader attacks Shawn at the ramp. Cornette hits Shawn with his racket while the rest is distracted with Jose. We get a flying form by Shawn. Cornette gets up top. Gets on the apron. Shawn grabs him, grabs the tennis racket, and just starts hitting Vader with it and gets DQ'd. Cornette again demands the match restarted, and Shawn agrees again. We get a flying elbow drop from Shawn. Sweet chin music, but Vader kicks out, which kind of threw me off. I thought they very protected that move. We get a Vader bomb, but Shawn kicks out of that. Vader's gonna go for the Vader. I'm gonna call it the Vader splash. Just apparently the powerbomb is also the Vader bomb. The Vader splash. But then Cornette says go up top and do the moonsault. And the moment he went on top, I knew he was missing because he actually would not have been able to hit Shawn. The moment he went to Shawn, he was too close to the corner for him to do that. So Shawn moves out of the way, barely moves an inch. And then Shawn hits a moonsault and pins to win and retain the title. I give it 6 out of 10. The temper tantrum part that's very obvious ruins it for me. Shawn would then refuse to work with Vader again because he hit too hard and that. So instead Sid would end up taking the spot Vader was supposed to do, and Sid would end up winning the belt for Shawn at Survivor Series for losing to him at Royal Rumble, and Shawn's unprofessionalism started from there. As show-wise, I give it 6 out of 10. It, being honest, is better than I thought it'd be. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was. So I give him that. I'll give him the thumbs up. It's way better than I thought it'd be. So I'll give him that. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought in the comments. Hit the like button, hit subscribe button. We will be back for SummerSlam 97, which includes Bret Hart versus The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee, which ought to be interesting. And an infamous moment involving one Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart. But we'll get back to that when we can. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.